The story behind Mia. Mia was a very cheerful, wonderful, and carefree child. But when she was 2 years old, her parents abandoned her. She had no other relatives or anyone related to her. No one had information on her, so they couldn't find anyone. Since there was no relatives, she had to go to a orphanage. The orphanage had abusive workers, barely any food for the children. It was outside the city and no documents on the workers or kids. It was a horrible place for kids. Some of them died of starvation and lack of water. People almost never adopted from there. If people did adopt from there, it was the older ones that got adopted. Because the younger ones were bad-tempered and no manners. The older ones learned what happened if they didn't listen, so they were scared to not behave. After Mia went to the adoption center, she became depressed and never spoke. She misbehaved. Every time she didn't listen, they threw rocks at her, cut her wrists with a KFE, throw heavy objects at her. Because of that abuse, she has several scars on her body and blind on one eye. She got adopted and returned 3 times, and every time she went to their house they used her for moe and abused her more. She had Ione good family, but they died in a car accident. Then she got adopted, but her family neglected her and they used her for extra moe. They returned her soon after. After that, she hated to see all her friends either get adopted or die. She hated the workers and she hated journal. Were all her secrets, deep desires and hate for people in? She was sad seeing her fiends go one by one. But one day, the staff took her journal. They read and took her downstairs, where no one was supposed to go. There was a cell there. They put her in there and locked it. They said no food or water for 3 days and we will let you go on 5 days. Maybe this will teach you to behave. Then they left. Mia cried and cried and cried until no more tears could come out. After 3 days she passed out from lack of food and water. She woke up a few hours later and it was dark around midnight. Suddenly she heard voice upstairs of kids and the workers scream. Mia thought someone was murdering everyone, but she heard loud stomps coming downstairs. They bursted down the door and then